Hey there, folks. Yet another day of me talking at you. This time, I was just watching a documentary about Wonder Woman. I'm about halfway through it. And so I figured I'd share my thoughts on the iconic female superhero. For me, Wonder Woman is Lynda Carter. I watched the 70s Wonder Woman show starring Lynda Carter when I was a kid. You know, born in 73. I grew up during the 70s, partly. And so, I loved the show as a kid. Although, like a lot of the shows I loved at that time, I remember them very fondly, and I don't remember any specifics. I mean, I loved Grizzly Adams, and I don't think I could name you one plot of one episode. But oh well, I was a wee thing back then. Anyhow, yeah, Lynda Carter equals Wonder Woman. And so, it's kind of like having your version of James Bond. All other versions of Wonder Woman will be judged essentially as to how Lynda Carter they are. She gave Wonder Woman such strength and courage and absolute, like Superman, an absolute, unflinching, unapologetic dedication to her ideals. That to me, Wonder Woman is like the epitome of the female superhero. She is the female equal, not equivalent, equal of Superman. Now I've rewatched a few of the episodes of the old show, and now they seem very odd and extremely 70s. But I love their idealism and how they represent like the female ideal. You know, compassion, conflict resolution, love, not war, that kind of thing. I do think of her as a feminist icon, because the thing about her is that she's totally strong, totally her own person, totally heroic. And yet she has not somehow had to pay some horrible price of being cold or suspicious or sarcastic, cruel. In other words, in order to become strong, she didn't have to become a bitch. And that is a very, very important message, because one of the problems of feminism is that we tend to think of its most negative aspects, and that means that there's a lot of women out there who want to be a feminist and want to be a nice person, essentially, you know. And so there needs to be figures that show that there is no conflict between those two things. You can be a feminist and a nice person at the same time. In fact, true feminism, what I would call non-reactionary feminism, has the same root as all humanism, and all true humanism has its roots in compassion and kindness and, you know, justice tempered with mercy. So, if you really think about it, there's no conflict at all. Another thing about Wonder Woman is that some people think, well, I mean, look at her in the bikini and the, you know, bare arms and everything like that. Oh, she's obviously a sex symbol. You know, she's just eye candy for men. Well, screw you. That's why the term pro-sex feminist had to be coined, is people like that who think that unless you make yourself ugly to men, you're somehow not in control. that's just making women ashamed of their own bodies. How that makes women afraid of their own bodies. It makes them think, oh my God, I better hide it up and practically put on the hijab in order to just be safe from men. That is unacceptable. Every woman has the right to be sexual, to be sexy, if she wants to be. You know, and no one, not a man or a woman or a government, should ever make her feel bad for being an enthusiastic expresser of her own sexuality. Yeah. I think that's about it for me and Wonder Woman. I think if anything else, maybe I'll do another video. That's all for me for today, folks. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.